Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Chris, and in today's video we're going to go ahead and make some tags. So let's begin.
Okay, so I have some printouts. I go to Creative Fabrica. Everything I talk about will be linked in the description box so you can find it easier. But I use Creative Fabrica. I will have links for these images as well. And if you go through the links that I supply and you make a purchase of any kind, then I will receive some kind of thank you from Creative Fabrica. But I want to make tags. I want to make tags so I can put in my whatnot buy it now section. So people, when they're browsing, if they see some tags that they like, they can purchase them. And I also like to do them as giveaways. But I printed my images out onto some rice paper. And I've got these with fall coming up. People are going to want to see more of the fall. So I got these printed out. We've got some florals in a fall setting, which I think are absolutely amazing. And then I also printed these out, some watercolor. Now, let's turn them into tags. I mean, this is the hardest part. You could definitely do this on your Cricut machine, but what if you don't have a Cricut machine? Then, you know, you're gonna have to hand cut. So I have a Cricut machine, but I'm going to do this as if I don't have one. But you will, of course, need a printer. And I use a regular inkjet printer onto this paper, rice paper I got from Amazon. And then I've got some cardstock. I like to use this color cardstock. I also got these from Amazon. But to me, it just makes the back. Like here's one that's finished. I got these little strawberries. But the back, just to me, I don't know, it just looks more like, you know, like a tag. I don't know how to explain it. I just think they look pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take this one and a glue stick. And you'll go through a lot of glue sticks. If you can get this, especially right now with back to school coming out, you can probably get some on sale. But you will need a glue stick. I tried it with the Mod Podge, but for one, it makes the paper way too wet, so it curls it up, and I don't like that. And then you also take a chance of that Mod Podge or Decoupage drying too quickly, so it leaves gaps. So I did not like that technique. So I'm going to use my glue stick. I do have a silicone backing here, so that way I can easily wipe it off. I like to go around the edges. And I like the colored glue stick because I can see where I've missed. And you will have to work pretty darn quick because this stuff wants to set up also. Okay, just lay that there. Take a brayer and smooth it out. And then we set it aside to dry. Okay, once the glue is dried, simply cut them out. Scissors. I like to kind of cheat a little and use my little cutter in any straight line. I can just follow it. It saves my hand. So yeah. So any straight line that I can do with this, I tend to do that. But if you use this especially, make sure that glue is dry, otherwise it's going to tear your paper.
Now, if you've got these scissors that have the little different shapes along the blade, you could definitely utilize those and go around the edges, giving it a nice appearance that way. I love the way these work. I'm not very good at using them, but they do make those tags look extra special. All right, the next step, I am going to be using my Crocodile because it's got the little hole punch. It has the size 3/16 and the 1/8 inch. And I am going to be using the larger of the two, which is the 3/16. And I figured since I have one of these, I might as well put it to work. I don't use it a whole lot, but when I do, I absolutely love this. So just put those holes in the top of your tags. And once you've got all your holes in your tags, you can always take some distressed ink. I am using this Tim Holtz in the color Vintage Photo, and I'm going to go around the edges of my tags because you know how when you cut through paper, a lot of time you can see the white, and since my backing is that brown color, I definitely don't want that white to show through, so I'm going to use this distressing ink, just go around those edges and disguising all of those white cut marks. Now the next step is, what do we do with the holes? Well, you can leave them like they are, or you can use some of these reinforcement labels like I did on this one right here, or you can use some eyelets. These eyelets actually came in this Crocodile kit that I had gotten, and I've had this Crocodile for a while and I've never used eyelets until the other day. I went live on my Whatnot channel and we crafted and made some of these tags, and it was so much fun. But I learned about these eyelets and I thought, wow, that really adds something special to the tags, and it was so easy to do. So you pretty much just take one of those eyelets, put it in the hole that you cut. Now you don't have to cut the hole. I find it just easier that way. I can place the eyelet inside the hole, and that hole kind of holds it there in place while I grab my Crocodile. And the very tip of that Crocodile is the tool that you're going to punch those eyelets securely into place. And it's just easy peasy. And once I've got all those holes addressed, you could add some jute string, which is what I am going to do for the majority of mine. For one, it's just easier and quicker. Something else you could also do is you could just take some of your jute twine, roll it up, and if you're selling like 3 tags for the price of one, add enough jute twine in with your little package. That way they can string it themselves. Or you could also add some ribbon. Now the ribbon, depending on the thickness of it, could be a little difficult to get into those smaller holes, but you know, where there's a will, there's a way. Just pinch it very tightly and usually you can get it in there. And that's all there is to it, to making these. No cutting machine needed in order to make tags. I hope this has inspired you guys in some sort of way. And you guys leave me a comment down below. Let me know, what did you think about this video? And I hope you will consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, and help me grow here on YouTube. And come back and see me week after week and just give me your honest opinions. I appreciate any kind of feedback, and I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And if you're ever on Whatnot, come check me out over there where I sell vintage items, and I'm starting to do some crafting as well. And I would love to see you over there. Again, all the links are in the description box, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.